very important. And later I'm going to draw some insight from the, we call it the investment perspective. That is very important. Okay, secondly, the most important part is the master plan. So whenever we want to invest, we need to know whether there's a growth in the particular area. And once we know whether or not there's a growth, are there exit plan to actualize the paper into that very development, right? I want to make sure that there's paper profit, yeah? So not just the paper profit, but also make sure that when I get the product, I got the confidence, the quality assurance. So we need to analyze a little bit on the developer as well. So most importantly for investor, we want to invest, point number 5, we want to invest because we want to earn money, right? We want to create some wealth. So what are the bases we use to make sure that this particular property is worth investing? How about rentability? So in addition to the capital appreciation income, right? Another income that we want is rental income. So are there certain good prudent bases that we can fall on for rentability for this particular Pasir Ris 8, since we're talking about to spot the right buy in Pasir Ris? We don't know yet. We'll take a look at the numbers later. And of course, point number 7 is where we will address the very question, should I continue to stay in HDB? How to make sure that we make an informed decision, we need to analyze the HDB Market Analysis, which I'll cover in the session shortly. And whether or not should I upgrade to private. So these two, we need to understand the trend and the relation, the comparison between this HDB and private comparison. And of course, once we are able to compare this, the next question I want to answer is whether or not size does matter or not. Whether the size, if I'm able to afford, should I buy a bigger unit or should I just make it safe to buy prudently? Buy prudently meaning to just buy comfortably and not buy optimally as big as I can. So should I buy as big as I can or should I just buy comfortably? Okay, later some statistics may shed some insight in your investment philosophy. Yeah, so these are the key 10 prudent analysis we want to cover. And if the times allow, right, we want to cover another six more bonuses. Go deep into analyzing the District 18, okay, the resale and also new launch. Say for instance, if you wanted to upgrade, okay, does this decision become a very important decision for you? Are there implications? If you make the wrong decision, what would happen in terms of wealth creation? Yeah. So, and of course, the bonus 13, 14, 15, and 16, and so on. So this one, if we got time, we'll cover. Okay, without further ado, let me cover the location and site analysis. Okay, Pasir Ris 8 is an integrated mixed development. So we need to first identify the product first. Yeah, it is with MRT, aircon, bus interchange, the mall. There's an additional mall in addition to the White Sand Mall. All right. There's also a town plaza, polyclinic, Pasir Ris Town Park. And also there's a direct link to Pasir Ris Park and the beach. Yeah. And why I highlight the library here, because okay, if you see on this particular street directory, let me orientate you a little on this street directory. Where is the actual site? The actual site is actually here. This is the Pasir Ris MRT. If you see my cursor, Pasir Ris MRT, it is a huge site. It is about 300,000. We call it, later I'll share with you the details. It's a huge site. As you can see from this whole site here, MRT station is here, White Sand is here with the library. And where is the Pasir Ris Sports Center? It's just to the right of it. And there's a Pasir Ris Hawker Center. Not only that, there is also a nice, we call it a Pasir Ris Park, Pasir Ris Town Park, where it also has a fish pond and a prawn pond for our families to bond. So we need to see all this in totality. Very rarely we get to see a site like this. And for those soccer lovers, you can play this football field here. Let me draw your attention a little bit to the north. Okay, to the north, you can see these are all the whole greenery area here, flanked by 2 rivers. As you can see, the whole Pasir Ris Park is huge. If you realize, if I zoom out a little on this Pasir Ris Park, the left limit here where I circle here to the right limit circle, this whole beach is about 2.4 kilometers. For those IPPT boy, when you run, you know how long the 2.4 kilometers is. And this is the long beach for our family to enjoy. So of course, if you look at the, we we call it choosing the facing of the unit, right? Once the official floor plan elevation chart, all this is out, right? Then you will realize that facing towards the north is where you get to see the park facing, beach facing, and also the sea facing. How about facing towards the south? All right. If you face towards the south, right, you get to see the Tampines Eco Green. If you go further south, okay, you get to see two more parks. What are the two more parks? The two more parks is Bedok Reservoir Park, as you can see from here, as well as the famous recreational East Coast Park. So this particular Pasir Ris is pretty interesting. Walking distance to where we call it the Pasir Ris Park is short drive to Bedok Reservoir Park, and also we call it the East Coast Park. Connectivity. Can you see the connectivity? If I were to zoom in again, if you look at the connectivity for those who drive, you'll realize that it is so important when within a short 1 minute or two, you hit the expressway. In this case, you hit the TPE, so that can lead us to the rest of the Singapore region. So this will give you a good glimpse about the whole area here in terms of the locality. And rarely we see a mixed development so near a nature. We call it nearing the green and also the blue. I just want to highlight to your attention, there's huge plan in this whole Pasir Ris Park. Okay, huge plan in this whole Pasir Ris town center area as well. Later I'll show you from the authority, HDB. Okay, we call it HDB remaking the video. And not only that, in the greater master plan zoning, we call it the Greater Eastern Gateway, there are also big plans into it. So what all this got to do with your particular development? If you think about investing, this is something what we call the location and site analysis we will analyze before we do any particular investment. Yeah. So let me also show you another flyover into it. So that is that flyover. If I were to go into this Pasir Ris MRT to give you an orientation, now you get to see this Google map. Where is the site? This is the site. Facing towards the north, let me face towards the north. Okay, this is the whole site area here. If you see currently, this whole site area here is all greenery, right? Yeah. If I were to flip into the master plan zoning, remember I want to highlight some insight to all of you. If I go to this master plan zoning, okay, and if I go into this authority, we call it the master plan, okay, you realize one thing, it is no longer green color. Did you realize that currently this whole area here, right, is already planned for, remember the two river flanking? You got this 4 plot of land here. One plot, one big plot, 1 plot, 2 plot, 3 plot. This third plot is actually 2 plot. They divided into two plots. So this whole plot of land, what does it mean to you when your Pasir Ris 8 is on this white side here? Yeah, this is Pasir Ris 8 and this is we call it the Pasir Ris MRT. So very often you realize that I'm actually referring a lot of the data from the URA, HDB, and also mainly these two, URA and HDB, because they are the authority. And if you go into this Google map to just show you a glimpse of it, okay, if you go into this Pasir Ris Park within a short walking distance, there will be a direct link, green way leading from Pasir Ris 8, see my cursor here, leading to all these amenities here. Huge Pasir Ris Park, mangrove, boardway, birds tower, kitchen, garden, maze garden. So if I were to go into all this gallop, for those who like to ride on the horses, and a beach, so I'll just, in the interest of time, I'll just go into one of this to show you the kind of lifestyle you'll be getting. So say, for example, now I decided to bring my children, all right, over to this beach area here. Yeah. So let's go into the beach for a moment. Let me fly you over to the beach right now. Yeah. So you get to see the kind of lifestyle you'll be getting. It is not just a house, but it is a home that can bond the relation. Can you already see the kind of living? It's like another East Coast Park. Yeah. A huge perimeter, 2.4 kilometer wide from left limit all the way to the right limit. Yeah. So if I were to fly back again, so for those nature lovers who like mangrove, who like to ride horse, or even can you see this park connector here? Let me bring you directly to the park connector without you physically going to that park connector. Let me show you the park connector. Why the park connector is so important? I think the cyclist will tell you why is it so important, because it helps us to link one point to another. And the cyclists together with their loved one, okay, their children, that is where they can actually cross the bridge to another part. So this is the river. Yeah, remember the river, and this is the bridge. You see the amazing part about leveraging on technology. So without you going over, you already can have a glimpse about how enjoying that particular location is. So if I orientate you back to the north, okay, that is River RP. Yeah. So let me go back to the, so in short, this whole short flyover is just to impress a parameter. What is the orange color parameter? Is to also show you the whole circuit area, right? Based on the Eastern Gateway plan, right? If you study in details, there are many strong tenants. And where are the strong tenants are? From Changi Aviation Park, Changi Air Hub, etc., which you can see on my small little box on the left bottom corner. Yeah. The whole site is about 38,000 square meter. It's huge. It's an integrated white color site. And a little bit about the project information. It is a 99-year lease. The interesting part about this is the lease only commenced in July 2021. So that is a very important good news, because later when we study the price comparison, remember, price comparison, entry price is important for any investor. And knowing the age is also equally important. Some investor may neglect about this. And when they buy without knowing the age, in the longer term implication, they may suffer. All right. Integrated development with residential commercial. To give you an idea of how big the commercial is, the commercial is about 35,000 square meter. Okay. Be interactive a little. I want to see how many of you been to Bedok Mall before. If you've been to Bedok Mall, maybe you press a 1 for me. Okay, press a 1 for me. If you've been to Bedok Mall, let me see. Okay, thank you so much for pressing 1. Why I want to ask? Because the mall that this particular Pasir Ris 8 that's going to provide, right, will be bigger than Bedok Mall. Slightly bigger, estimated to be slightly bigger. Span over 4 levels. Okay, not all the 4 levels are all retail spaces, but based on what the developer mentioned to us, it will flank over 4 levels. There are only 487 units, ranging from 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and 4 bedroom. And a 1 bedroom and a 2 bedroom, 60% proportion. Remaining 40% is for the 3 bedrooms and the 4 bedrooms. The land cost, we have the land cost advantage of 684. And for integrated development, do remember this as well. Okay, if you read more about integrated development, you will also know that integrated development comes with developer needing to provide public facilities. So in fact, if you were to exclude all the public facilities, the effective land cost is 840, which is still a land cost advantage vis-a-vis the recent land bid that we see. So these are all envelope tender. What is a dual envelope tender? First, they need to pass the concept, a very stringent concept to make sure that the quality, the integration of the seamless facilities to the public spaces must be met first. Second, the price. So once they met the first one, then they get the highest bidder. So Pasir Ris 8, they have to pass strict government authority tests. So it becomes quality assured. So that is an important plus point compared to typical condominium. Now I don't dare to anyhow move my cursor a little. Okay, but if I'm my panelists help me. If I'm too fast, right? Any of them highlighted I'm too fast, please do stop me, because I try not to move my cursor so as to make sure it goes smoothly. Okay, a picture speaks 1,000 words. The Pasir Ris, as you can see from here, residents. I want you to imagine. Okay, you save a lot of time. Essence of living means your time should be spent with your family members. Okay, the cross island line, the Pasir Ris will be an interchange. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to take note. Huge money will be pumped into that area to transform it, and access will be from the B2. In addition, there will also be an air-conditioned bus interchange we mentioned earlier on, and of course the town plaza that you see on this whole slides here. So that whole life within Pasir Ris 8 is very seamless, very convenient. Okay, I want to ask all of you, in a desert, is water rare and precious? Okay. How many of you say water is rare and precious? If you feel it's rare and precious, can you press 1? Okay, thank you so much for the response. Okay, in Singapore, I want to raise to your awareness. Okay, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. But knowledge, nevertheless, is important also. Yeah? Okay, mixed development, we call supply and demand. Mixed development like Pasir Ris 8. Make a guess. Make an intelligent guess. Is it about 50%? Is it about 10%? Is it less than 5%? Or is it less than 1.5%? 1, 2, 3, or 4? What is your multiple choice answer? Okay, as a proportion of the overall private condo in Singapore. Let me see the answer. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah, because that one supply is important. Let me show you. Imagine for a moment, you are getting a water in the desert. When you're getting a water in the desert, is it rare? Is it precious? So long you have holding power, you buy at the right price, you hit a jackpot. Because it's very rare, it's very precious. Yeah, because there's only 1.37%. And I want to share with you another analysis. Mixed developments, sometimes mixed developments, they are not fully integrated. Okay? If you go into fully integrated, meaning they got MRT, they also got bus interchange. And Pasir Ris context, not only they got bus interchange, they also got a lot, many other amenities like hawker center, polyclinic, at Doorstep, etc., etc. In the whole of Singapore, currently, there's only how many? It's even rarer. We call it a fully integrated development. Currently, there are only 9 developments. Yes, you didn't see wrongly, there are 9. When the Pasir Ris 8 comes about, it will be 10. Okay, it will be the 10 fully integrated development with MRT as well as fully integrated compared to the normal, simple mixed development. Yeah? Okay, number 2 analysis, master plan analysis. Remember, we asked about growth. So whenever we invest in a property, we want to ask whether there are certain growth story that the government has already planned for. So in a nutshell, you can see on the bottom, okay, the whole town center will be refreshed. Whole town center, the transformation will subsequently take place. Second, the whole nature living, the Pasir Ris Park area, the Green Central Walkway will all be revitalized. How about the red color? As you can see, the red color thing, the red color from the left limit to the right limit, all the community spaces will be made alive. How to make alive? It will be upgraded. And number 4, the Pasir Ris Go. What is this Pasir Ris Go? All the nature ways and the river ways all will be upgraded as well for the cyclists and also for the joggies and also for the family members. So the main idea is for you to enjoy the ambience. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay, a video speaks 1,000 pictures. So let me go into this short video for all of you to enjoy. Relax and enjoy this short video right now.
Vibrant community meets nature. Pasir Ris town will be rejuvenated under 4 key aspects: town center refreshed, nature living revitalized, community spaces alive, and Pasir Ris Go. The key community spaces within Pasir Ris, namely the community mall, neighborhood parks, and neighborhood centers such as Elias Mall will be rejuvenated with more facilities and community spaces for residents to enjoy. Walking and cycling experience will be enhanced via the 3 key connections: the Central Greenway, the Riverways, and the Nature Ways, where pocket parks with thematic landscaping will also be introduced along these key routes. Residents can look new mixed commercial and residential development integrated with a bus interchange and MRT station. A town plaza with heritage garden will also be provided to serve as a community node in the heart of the town. The Central Greenway will be introduced and integrated with a mixed-use development in the town centre, providing a direct connection to Pasir Ris Park. It will extend and integrate with the future housing developments and facilities, bringing the community to a welcoming plaza space before leading into Pasir Ris Park. New facilities and recreational options are also in store under the plans for Pasir Ris Parks and Beach. Residents can look forward to a rejuvenated town centre with new facilities, enhanced Pasir Ris Parks and Beach with new housing introduced, more vibrant community spaces, as well as a better walking and cycling experience.
And identity. So community spaces, connectivity, greenery at the heart of urban sanctuary, seamless connection to the facilities and also new housing development, etc. In this whole Pasir Ris town area, right smack at your Pasir Ris, at the epicenter of that very location. Word, okay, there's a above the ground MRT. Below it is the air condition. We call it bus interchange. And the young couple doing their shoppings. And to the right is the town plaza where your family members can enjoy and bond together. Not only that, a short link to the Pasir Ris beach, recreational activities to bond our loved ones. And connectivity with the greenery and community spaces for the cyclists, joggies, will be a very loved area. As you can see from this river, that is the perspective from the river, to give it a tranquil feel within the whole developments. There are also three enhancement aspects. What are the three enhancement aspects? Programs, there will be programs, alignment, facilities, to make the whole space a lot more livable, more vibrant. As you can see from all this perspective here. Yep. So all these are all in the master plan. And I'm going to bring you out further. In addition to the master plan in the Pasir Ris town, we mustn't also neglect there is also this East Region Gateway Master Plan. Because Pasir Ris is in the east, and it's equally important to know the bigger plans as well, because there are ripple effects to that. As you can see from the arrow showed Pasir Ris 8, where Pasir Ris 8 is, and Cross Island Line will be a key, okay, to rejuvenate the whole area, especially Pasir Ris 8 area. Because remember, Pasir Ris will be the interchange MRT, okay? And what does that mean to us? It means shortened distance. It means residents can enjoy more time, okay? More time for their own, because the travel time will be reduced. Yeah, as highlighted by the minister here, Condo to Pasir Ris, the whole time are being shortened tremendously. And the recent articles, the LTA awarded 980 million is huge amount of investment. Can you imagine your area? I want you to appreciate why the land cost will be more expensive. Can you imagine a 980 million is being pumped into that particular area? And what will happen to the land? What will happen to the value of our property when it is completed? It is not completed yet. It is going to be completed in 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be completed in 2030. What does that mean? Do you want to buy when it is completed, or do you want to buy when it is not completed? Delivering promise. So that is where we call potential upside. There's a growth story from the Greater Eastern Gateway Master Plan zoning growth story. And this is one of them. Yeah, urban transformation, the jewel, okay, near to the amenities, etc. And the Changi region, Changi Aviation Park, Changi Terminal 5, Changi City. So why all these are important? Because I want you to link a little bit about the growth story, because it makes the whole East living more livable, okay, more attractive. And not only that, when you have all this aviation park coming along, you attract all the white-collar workers, yeah, executives. It is a gateway. How Singapore positioned this whole area is a business gateway to the world. Currently, because of the COVID, many travelers are unable to come in yet. Can you imagine when the COVID, one day, it shall become better world again. When it becomes a better world, okay, when we understand the COVID control better, and when all the travelers starts to come back to Singapore again, you realize that that is where we can reap the reward. Because currently, the price that you see, okay, the price that you see, think about it. Why can it stay at this reasonable level? Because developers are less arrogant. Why is that so? Because of COVID uncertainty. So this is attractive lifestyle in this master plan. And particular note to the orange, we call it orange circle ring, I want to mention that is particular important to Pasir Ris 8. These are the potential strong, we call it tenant pool. The strong tenant pool is important, or natural tenant pool that may be attracted to Pasir Ris 8 because of the proximity to that area. Yeah, are all important. So we already see the white, we call it executive, all the executive coming into all this Singapore data center. In fact, 10 billion, in fact, US 1 billion is being invested. US 1 billion is being invested in all this. And that is where you get all the workers, and the workers would have their families and they want to stay somewhere in the east. And Pasir Ris 8 become naturally one of the potential area. So having had understand a little bit about the location and the site analysis, having understand the growth story as a potential investor, you realize all these are the soft skill any potential investor would do. Like myself, when I do my own property investment, I'll definitely go into the URA to see what are the plans that's being involved. Like what I did to you earlier on, to give you a glimpse about what are the analyses that you'll probably go into. And the third one I always ask when I buy a property, are there certain concrete exit plan? Let me show you the potential exit plan on how we analyze Pasir Ris 8. But before that, we need to understand a little bit about ourselves. Yeah. So do you feel government land sales in the future, okay, will be sold at a higher price or lower price? No right and wrong answer. Use your gut feeling. Okay, based on your understanding of Singapore government, do you think it will be selling at a higher price or lower price? Can you type into the chat group? Thank you so much for the participation. Yeah. So let me show you the prices over time based on statistic. We call it a central region, fringe region, east, west region. One trend you see is going up. I'm not surprised. Why? Two key reasons. Land in Singapore limited. Number two, we got very effective government who walk the talk. When they say they want to invest big infrastructure, they really invest in big infrastructure. And big infrastructure costs billions of dollars. And all these billions of dollars are put into the land. Okay, if I were to give you the third reason why land costs will be expensive, is very simply put. The money need to be, the money that's being earned in the land cost, right, will be competitively bidded. Why is that so? Because it need to be answerable to the future of our children. Yeah, the money. Because it will all park into the Singapore government reserve. So being competitive bidded, okay, it will achieve the best market price. So these are the three key reasons. Yeah. So let's take a look at the east area. It increased by about 15.8% compounded annual growth rate in the past 10 years. All right, 10 years. Let's take a look at the recent land bid. Ang Mo Kio housing site. In fact, it's Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1. Are you aware of this news, ladies and gentlemen? The land cost itself is $1,118. What is this similar to Pasir Ris 8? Even though Ang Mo Kio is a little bit far from Pasir Ris, the commonality in terms of terminology from the URA, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1, for this particular site, it is a OCR, outside central region. Vis-a-vis Pasir Ris 8, it is also OCR. So it's an apple-apple comparison from as far as OCR is concerned. How about the TGW, Turner Garden Walk EC? All right. This EC, right, also hit record price at 603 per square foot per plot ratio. But let me bring you back to the Ang Mo Kio again. What does that mean to the future selling price? The estimated price will be 1,009 to 2,000 per square foot. Yes, you didn't hear me wrongly. Ang Mo Kio in the next 1.5 years to 2 years, when the show flats launch, right, they would have to sell at 1,009 to 2,000 per square foot. Yeah. Okay, take a look. Interestingly, is the first 3 bidders of the Ang Mo Kio, right? If you look at the right color box, you get to see all the 3 bidder is all above 1,000 per square foot per plot ratio, 10XX. And what does that show? It shows got 3 very, very confident developer bidding above 1,000. But most importantly, did you see how many bidders are there? 15. In the 15 bidders, it means they all are having a very strong long-term confidence view of Singapore. And not only that, I want to share with you another insight. Can you imagine there's only one person who won the bid? How many person didn't win the bid? 14. I want you to imagine the anxiety if you are one of the 14. Can you imagine the next government land sales that's going to be open? And if you're one of the 14 who didn't win the bid, what goes to your mind? When you don't have land, you cannot develop properties to sell. Just like you don't have flour, you are unable to sell bread. So that is important. So would the remaining 14 bidders become more aggressive? They can continue to stay very prudent. Okay, but if they continue to stay very prudent, are there costs to them? Yes. When they continue to bid prudently, they don't have land, they also have to pay the fixed cost. We call it the labor cost and also the machine cost. So that is the reason why, because of all this, they have to bid market price in order to get the land. So this is land cost. How about another site that's nearer to Pasir Ris 8? This is Tanah Merah, bidded in 30 October 2020. Land cost 930 per square foot per plot ratio. Yeah, Tanah Merah. Okay, and this had to sell at 1,007 to 1,008. And any price, later when I zoom into the analysis on the price comparison, you have to ask yourself, being an integrated development like Pasir Ris 8, if you already know that Tanah Merah end of the year, or even next year, first quarter or second quarter, yes, not being a fully integrated development, they have to sell at 1,007, 1,008. What is considered a good price for Pasir Ris 8, where it's a fully integrated development? So this is something that I'll ask myself. That means I'll always remind myself to try to forget about the past. Okay, I can use the past as a guide, but I need to forget about the past prices. Because why? Because in the past, there isn't such much investment being pumped into the Singapore land. Yeah. So this is something that only one thing, continue to remain in the market, continue to be reasonable, is key towards wealth creation. This is something that my wife and myself continue to remind ourselves. Yes, 1,007 to 1,008 because the break-even cost will be 1,480 to 1,540. Exit plan number 1. Can you see the plot of land there when I showed you earlier on live at the URA master plan? Zone plot 1, 2, 3, 4. When one of these plots are being opened for government land sales, once it is bidded successfully at a higher price, and 1.5 to 2 years later, when they build show flat and launch, that is where you exit your Pasir Ris 8. This one exit plan, number 1, because chances is high that the land will be bidded at a higher cost, higher price. Number 2, in 2030, when the Pasir Ris being completed, Pasir Ris MRT interchange being completed, it will be a huge attractiveness to link to the different parts of Singapore. Think about it, 980 million, 00, you know how many zero behind? It almost come close to 1 billion already, okay, being pumped into this whole area here. So when this is completed, that is where you read your exit plan number 2. Yeah. And exit plan number 3, 2030, meaning it could be 2035, 2037, we don't know because of the COVID situation. Okay, 10 billion of investment, 10 plus 9 more zero behind, to be invested in Changi Terminal 5. Wow, it's amazing. The Greater Eastern Plan. So when this is completed, that is where you can start thinking about exiting Pasir Ris 8 to gain in your capital appreciation. So 3 exit plan. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is the exit plan analysis. Okay, it's also equally important when we invest in a particular property, you want to make sure that the quality that's being promised is highly likely being delivered. So how do we analyze this? Knowing that this particular property is by reputable developer All Green, and the key person behind this is Robert Quart. You think about Robert Quart is equivalent to Wee Chow Yao when we think about UOB. Okay, reputable tycoon, respected tycoon. This person owns the Quart Group, and Quart Group owns the All Green and Carey properties. So we have this reputable developer who wants award. What kind of awards they want? FIACI World Prince Excellent Award. What is this award? This award represents the best embodies excellence of all real estate discipline. Okay, it is much more than a beauty contest. It also represents a cut above the rest. So this kind of award, All Green has earned it. And we have this same developer that's going to design Pasir Ris 8. And this is the list of the awards that you realize this particular developer, All Green, has earned. And having had this reputable developer build this development, we are really very assured. Remember the 2 tender proposal I mentioned earlier on? They need to pass 2 stringent tests. Not only the highest bidder will get the project, you also need to pass the Singapore stringent test of concept. And All Green beat the rest. Okay, they won the concept plan as well. So that is important. So can you already imagine the kind of living you'll be getting? And this is some of the track record All Green has. For those who didn't know or haven't been to Great World City or been to Great World City recently, Great World City is by All Green, all right, developer. Bukit Timah Collection is also by All Green. Sky Suite at Anson is also by All Green. A picture speaks 1,000 words. As you can see from this whole living here, that is the kind of living you'll be enjoying, and a very quality delivery will be done by All Green. As you can see, MRT, do remember the CRL, Cross Island Line, will be via the P2. And bus interchange for our family, for our boys and girls to take the bus to one place to another. Town Plaza for us to bond. Reading habit at the library. Family, shopping, experiences, bonding at the Pasir Ris Park and the beach directly. How about the hawker center? Affordable foods. Papa and Mama go down to the polyclinic, which is at doorsteps when required. For those sport enthusiasts, you can just walk over and enjoy a Pasir Ris Sports Center to enjoy a good fitness. And in addition to the White Sand Mall that you already see. Yeah? So that is the kind of living that we have. Upside potential analysis. Okay, when we analyze upside potential, we want to make sure we get the data from the authority and we want to compare apple comparison in developments. And we want to know their result. Let's take a look at their result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 past mixed development ranging from Bedok residences all the way to Watertown. Take a look. One thing, as you can see from the bar chart here, the return is positive. That is something important to me for upside analysis. Okay, to better appreciate this, I want you to just imagine for a moment. Imagine this, all the bar here is all negative, meaning all the past mixed development, all the returns are all negative. Would you have confidence to invest in a Pasir Ris 8 mixed development? Answer is naturally no. Yeah. So it's very important we can use past data to our advantage to make sure that we reduce our risk to the minimum. Yeah. So Bedok Residences, 16.7%. Campus Heights, Hillian Residences, 12%. North Park Residences, 12% as well. Sun Plaza, 24%. These are all from URA. What are the green bar? The green bar represents the volume. The blue line represents the volatility of the prices. And the starting point where we calculate the return is where early bird, which you will be early bird if you were to buy Pasir Ris 8 as a early bird and you hold until today. Yeah. So this is the return for the centuries. The centuries will be 108%. The Poise Residences in Potong Pasir, 19.8%. And the Watertown is 16.8%. So this is something I will use to analyze whether or not there's upside potential for Pasir Ris 8 using an apple authority analysis. How about rentability? Okay, I want to ask this question to all of you. Okay, you don't overthink, you just key in based on gut feeling. Does integrated development fetch a rental premium? Meaning it has a higher rental compared to normal condo. Give you a tips. Think in terms you are tenant. Will you pay a premium, okay, to stay in an integrated development? Yes or no? Let me take a look at your answer. Okay, so that I know I'm not talking to the wall. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone are so participative. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Remember to answer to all panelists and all attendees because I see a lot answer, but a lot of them still answer only to the panelists only. Please answer the scroll down bar to all the panelists. Did you see in the darker yellow color? I want you to see for yourself. Did you see the rental is higher compared to the non-landed condo? That means the other condo other than the integrated. Did you see consistently? It is higher. That one is the big picture based on the analysis. I'm going to go deeper for you now. Okay, how do you read this? Okay, this is quarter 2 2020 to quarter 2 2021, very updated. Yeah, meaning we choose within the 1 kilometer condominium from the integrated development. The per square foot rental transacted and their contract date. Okay, the blue color bar is the volume. So we use the volume. Okay, if the volume 209, as you can see, Bedok Residences got 209 transaction. We divided the 209 transaction averagely to arrive $3.91. Understand, ladies and gentlemen? Very detailed, okay, from the SRX URA. But simply put, is there a premium? I want you to take a look at the rental premium in blue color, 23% to 64% rental premium for Bedok Residences. How about another one? Rental premium. Rental premium for 11, from as much as 11.6% to 39.4%. Yeah, Watertown. How about another development, Hillian Residences, 25.9% to 98%. Okay, within how many click radius? 1 to 2 click radius condominium. As you can see from here, 2 click radius, 18% to 56% rental premium. That is for North Park Residences. So for your summary, take a look at the blue color rental premium. Indeed, based on the recent fourth quarter's transaction, contract date from the URA, yes, indeed. Okay, it shows that tenants are willing to pay a premium for this particular integrated development. Okay, to think about it, why they want to pay a premium? If you believe time is money, because it really saves a lot of time, yeah, and convenience. Take a look at this question. Does it have strong tenant pool? Think about it. I'm going to show you directly. Okay, earlier on, we analyzed within a short distance, proximity to Pasir Ris 8, we have all the orange and the blue. Okay, these are all the potential respective natural tenant that's going over to this Pasir Ris 8. Yeah, so it has a very strong tenant pool. In addition, also the purple, the logistic, etc., etc. So if we see the arrow, you realize that the 3 dot arrow are very close to Pasir Ris 8 developments. And this will be the potential tenant that will be going over to this particular development. Yeah. Okay, take a look at the nearby not mixed development. Why I need to show you the not mixed? Because there's no mixed development there currently. So when there's not mixed, that means the renter you see, Pasir Ris would have a premium, okay, on all this 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 bed, and the 4 bed. These are all from the URA caveats. Yeah. So take a look at the rental. For the 1 bed rental, is 1.8. Okay, 1.8. I'm going to shift my cursor a bit. Wait, didn't still maintain here the cursor. Lucky. Okay, 2 bed 2.6 to 3.1. 3 bed 2.9 to 3,008. And the 4 bed is 3,007 to 4,002. So these are the transacted caveat price and also the contract price. Okay, from nearby development. It is all apple comparison. If you want to say the more stringently, these are not mixed development, but it's nearby. All right, nearby. So as you can see from here, Dines all the way to Coco Palm. So this is the renter that you'll be seeing. This will be the renter that you are seeing for the 3-bedder. And these are the renter that you'll be seeing for the 4 bedrooms. Yeah. Okay, this is the summary. High rentability based on facts and figures. Okay, on the latest statistic analysis. Yes, it's indeed, it has a high rentability and also a renter premium based on, we call it the authority data. 7, remember we want to, okay, I want to be a little bit more, how many of you have this question? Should I continue to stay in HDB or should I upgrade to a condo? Okay, if you have this question in mind, can you maybe type an 8? Okay, not always 1, quite boring. You type an 8. That means you happen to have this question in mind. Should I stay in HDB or should I buy a condo? You type an 8 so that we will see, and type to all, don't all panelists again, all panelists and all attendees, so that we will see how many 8s are there. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, the energy level here are still very high. We have over about 500 consumers here. Okay, glad to see all of you so participative even at this hour here. Okay, so I'm going to answer this in a very systematic way because I also quite interested to find out the answer to this question. If I own a HDB now, okay, should I continue to stay in my HDB? So what I did is I went to the HDB website. I go and draw out to the left. Can you see the left? It is a very, in the past 10 years, I want to see the returns of the potential HDB. So this is the trend line, as you can see from here. I want you to remember this trend line. This trend line is called up, down, flat, up. Currently, HDB trend line has this up, down, flat, up. Okay, remember this, up, down, flat, up. So having known this, we also want to know that the peak is actually 149.4 based on the index, 149.4. The HDB actually go by index. Okay, they index, they base their index at one particular timing. Okay, so as you can see, 149.4, it comes down all the way, and you realize that currently we are still about 4.8%. Okay, negative 4.8% from the peak. So you realize there's a long time where it comes down, it go flat, and recently it go up again. Okay, so this is currently the trend line. Question is, so what? So what to us? Okay, let's analyze a little bit. So what to us? Okay, to be a little bit more targeted, Pasir Ris, that trend line you saw earlier on is for the whole HDB. Now we are focusing on Pasir Ris HDB trend line. The interesting part is the Pasir Ris HDB trend line is the same as the whole HDB trend line. Also what? Also up, down, flat, up. See that? Up, down, flat, up. Okay, so I want you to imagine now you can rewind your time to 2009 using facts and figures. You stayed for 5 years because you need to fulfill 5-year MOP. See that? And you earn a return of 34%. As you are aware, if you buy BTO, you hold for, once you achieve a 5-year MOP, okay, you'll be in the money because it's a subsidized flat. Okay, that is a plus point about Singapore Singapore government, yeah? All right, so you earn a return. But did you realize when you earn a return, that is where you are not puzzled. Not say puzzled, you're not thinking whether or not should I continue to stay. So if you continue to stay like this particular guy in green color, if this person continue to stay in the next 7 years, this is what will happen to him. He will earn 4.3%. That means 7 years for 4.3%. In a nutshell, from the next 7 years, from 2014 to 2021, the return is 17,000. Okay, 17,000 or 0.59% per year, not even able to cover inflation. See that? So using a facts and figures, would such person in 21.4 really have this thinking? Or upgrade to condo. So at least now you know if you continue to stay such return, tracking back, 17K, is that something that this particular person can do better off? So we go deep a little, Pasir Ris case study. So we go into this Pasir Ris case study. Can you see the block 114, caveated in 2014? Imagine you are the person, we play real, because these are the real person. Is that you are not the real person, but there will be real person in this. 425K. He entered in 21.4 and decided to continue to stay in the HDB. Continue to stay, that means do nothing. So in April 2021, okay, total paper return 20K. But that is for the next 7 years. Yeah, if this particular person were to continue. How about another one? A bigger unit, block 553, Pasir Ris Street 51, 70K for the next 7 years. So that one is the implication of staying, continue to stay. All right. So one is 20K, one is 70K. But do remember, not careful, right? It won't go up forever. Remember, the trend line is what? Up, down, flat, up, right? Now it's up, right? Up. HDB is not meant for speculation. HDB is meant to be affordable. So it up. What will happen again? Up, down, flat, up. Yeah. So it's something very interesting. So in order to understand this a little, we need to do private market analysis also, not just the HDB. At least for now, we know HDB is 17K. Private 7 year is 28.8%. The return is 1.657 million minus the 1.286 million. How much is a particular person happened to sell the HDB and buy a private condominium at 1.286 million, also in 2014. The property prices indicate if you were to sell now, he would have already materialized about 28.8% return. So let me put these two together so that you can see a little bit more systematic. So you see this HDB Pasir Ris on the left, the blue color, Pasir Ris HDB trend line. In 2014, do remember 2014? Because you need to fulfill the 5-year MOP. 7 year, 4.4%, okay? Which is 407K minus 390K. This will be the return if you stay. The green color bar on top is when you are upgrading. So this decision, right? Does it has implication on the wealth creation? Yeah. Once we put side by side, you can see the difference, right? One decision alone can suddenly make him 370,000, which is very substantial amount of money, or 17K. That is the analysis, assuming at a 1,000 square foot size. So it's easy for everyone to understand. So which option now would you choose? Which option now would you choose? Looking at facts and figures from the HDB and also the URE private. Of course, Prudent is equally important. You must be able to afford the down payment. And this is another important due diligence. Yeah. Okay, let's go deeper. Cocoa Palm. You go into this Cocoa Palm 2014. So say, for example, we already see this that appears to upgrade, has a higher return. That one is based on the mega picture. So let's take a look at the East. So if I were to look at the East, say Cocoa Palm in 2014, if I were to sell that at HDB, I buy into Cocoa Palm also in 2014, 1 million. I sell now 1.256 million. What is the return I gain? I gain a return of roughly how much? Let me choose the cursor here. $230,000. Yeah. If I will put this in perspective together based on the trend line, to continue to stay, I'll earn 23,000. That means my HDB now will become 407K. Yeah, 407K. But if I were to sell my HDB and buy into a condo, I would have a return of averagely 230K. 230K is something quite substantial, especially when it comes to savings. Yeah. So now looking at this, would I want to continue to stay in my HDB, or would I go for option 2 to upgrade to a private condominium? Let me go into, okay, does size matter? Let's take a look at Cocoa Palm again, the size. This is the profit return, 140,000. That means you buy in 2014, you sell now in 2021. 140K, 98K, and 173K. The one is for 7XX per square foot. For 10XX per square foot, same things, buying in 2014, selling in 2021. 167K, 197K, 187K. So these are all actual unit, like 0427 is actual unit. There are 2 caveats. That means really, indeed, there's somebody who buy in 2014 and sell in 2021. So we are using the actual case study, okay? Coincidentally, you may be one of them, already pocket this money already. If you happen to be 1220, okay, buying in 2014 and selling in 2021. How about the bigger unit? The bigger unit, like for example, 1501 earns 437,000. Yeah, you didn't see wrongly. 437,000, almost $500,000. And 1202, 431K. And 0850 is 25. The one bigger than the 10XX per square 10XX square foot size. Does size matter? If for someone who is able to afford, meaning still prudently, that's why the rich get richer. Is it for a reason? Based on the facts and figures, it suggests that yes, the rich, if they are able to buy prudently and also a bigger unit, they get to benefit what we call a higher quantum profit. As you can see, 98 to 140K is for the 7XX square foot. For the 10XX square foot is 167 to 197 square K profit. And this profit is not including the rental income yet. Yeah, because 2014, okay, 3 to 4 years is only 2018. You can still get a 3-year rental income. Now, this profit, gross profit, haven't yet include the rental income yet. Yeah, bigger than 12XX per, square foot size, okay, we still got a little bit of time. All right, I'm going to run you through bonus 11. D18 new launch and resale private analysis. So now, interestingly, if we already want to upgrade, okay, should we buy new launch or should we buy resale? Let's take a look at the URA data again. Pallets, the pallets in D18 is nearby. Early bird, as you can see in the circle, when you early bird buy, you sell 4 years later when TOP. Why 4 years? We need to have certain assumption, say TOP time. You sell, you earn 15.48%, the new launch return. So somebody will buy from you, right? So the person will hold until now. The person earned 1.77%. This suggests in this, the pallet, new launch return higher than the resale return. Particular units for this 0906, the pallet, new launch return 200K, resale return 20K loss. I want you to think real for a moment. This could happen to you as well. Could happen to me as well. But with some data analysis, it will help us reduce our risk to the minimum. How about Livia? Same thing, consistent with the pallet. Hold for 4 years, earn 40%. Subsequently, somebody buy from you, hold for until now, they lose 4.87%. New launch return for 0447 Livia, 149K. Resale return is negative 16K. The other one, assume holding period 4 years for the Oasis at Elias, 45% return. But if you subsequently hold for resale, somebody buy from you, and you hold until now, negative 11.9%. Can you see the red box where I indicated resale risk, which is not very transparent to many retail buyers? Later, I will give you an example of what we mean by resale risk. As you can see, the new launch for this particular unit, they earn 281K, and the person who buy resale lose 92K. As you can see from the box here, they buy, the resale buyer buy at 1.055 million, sell at 962.5K, and lose 92K. Question, very important question. What decision? I want to put this real so that we can learn together. Imagine now you are back to the present, okay? But presently is 2021. Let's say in 2014, you are able to make a decision. But of course, 2014, to be fair, you don't have all this big data analytic. You didn't attend all this educational webinar, okay? You didn't. You based on your then insight, would you buy Oasis or would you buy new launch Coco Palm? Have to be fair, use your then intelligence. Whether number one, you buy resale, because resale Oasis is really cheaper, you know, because Coco Palm new launch is always more expensive because newer, more contemporary design, etc., etc. Yeah. So what is your answer? 1 or 2? Decision 1 or decision 2? Resale or new launch? Let me see your answer right now so that I know I'm not talking to the wall, right? Well, the energy level is still really very high. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Regardless of your, whenever I go to the box, okay. Lucky this time around, 还有听话，有出来。Okay. Thank you so much. Can you see now we use facts and figures? Can you see the circle? The very person who buy Coco Palm, congratulations, you earn a return of 9298K, even though you buy more expensive than the resale Oasis at Elias. The person who exited the HDB and go and buy Oasis resale unit, right, would suffer a negative return of 79K. So is there implication to making sure you buy the right property? Yes. Yeah. In this case, the effect is a double whammy. A double whammy of a 377,000 by just one decision that you make in 2014. 2014, you make the decision Coco Palm, you would have effectively earn this amount, okay, and avoid the loss of, we call it Oasis at Elias. Yeah. Okay, what is resale risk? Remember we mentioned about resale risk? I'm going to share the insight to you right now. Can you see the red box? Can you see the green color long bar? Green color long bar. Did you realize what is not transparent to many of the retail investor eyes is they didn't realize that a huge majority, can you see the huge, the blue color box? The huge blue color box, a lot of high volume. The high volume indicate a lot of transactions, all buy at low price. All buy at lower price, much lower price. And can you see today? Today means the red color small little box on the right, the volume is very thin. The person who buy at the resale unit, they didn't aware. They are buying at the highest high price, but only minority of it buy at this high price. So this is why the resale risk. Yeah, why the resale risk? And this resale risk resulted in Elias suffering the losses. Yeah. So question, with this insight, what will you do now? Back to the future, okay, now back to this 2021. If you back to the future, learning from this insight, will you buy cocoa palm resale or would you buy new Pasir Ris 8, which would be more expensive than cocoa palm? It's something for you to decide. Yeah. Okay, very quickly. In D18 nearby projects of Pasir Ris, if you were to buy as early bird, you hold it and sell now. Okay, let's participate. Will you earn or lose? That means must be early bird. Let's participate a little. Thank you so much for the high energy. I'm really impressed by all of you here. Okay, idea analysis. If so long we buy as an early bird, did it? OECs. Okay, meaning you buy early until now, you hold all the way. That means you didn't sell to the resale market, you hold all the way. You choose the time to sell. You have this benefit. Okay, OECs, the pallets, Livia, all has positive return, as you can see from here. 37%, 15%, etc. Yeah. So this is the summary analysis. The pallets, Livia, OECs, and the recent case studies, okay, to indicate what to buy, okay, when you decided to upgrade. I hope I can answer some question if we got a little bit more time. Okay, I'm going to go through very quickly the bonus shelf analysis. Let me go into this. Okay, price. What is considered a good price? In order to know what is a good price, we always want to do an apple-apple comparison. Ang Mo Kio, remember, is going to be launched at 1,009 XX to 2,000. Tanah Merah, 17 to 18 XX per square foot. These two are not truly fully integrated development, already reaching above 1,007 to 2,000. Above. How about the not mixed development on the right? Park Clementi's Garden, Florence, already hitting 1,008 and averagely already 1,602 to 1,651. Existing, we call it completed but older development, 6 years old to 10 years old, already hitting 1,007, 1,005, 70 per square foot. Whereas Pasir Ris 8 is at a totally brand new lease starting from July. I want you to sink in all this without using emotion. Purely look at the facts and figures. Sengkang Grand Residences is already hitting 1,915 and averagely 1,715 per square foot. And these are all the OCR comparison. How about the rest of Central Region? The rest of Central Region completed mixed development. Yes, you didn't see wrongly. The Woodley Residences already achieved 2,468 per square foot. Averagely 2,085 per square foot. And Park Place Residences hitting 2,000 per square foot. So what is considered a good price? Look at the apple-apple comparisons. And the bar that you see and the circle that you see is where we calculate the average prices from the URA caveats. So these are the caveats. 1,915 for Sengkang brand, as you can see from this bar, 17 to 19. Yeah, 17 to 18 again. 17 for 10-year-old Bedok Residences. North Park 6-year-old 1715. Park Place Residences 1908 to 2050. And this is the bid. Ang Mo Kio will be selling at 1,009 to 2,000 per square foot. OCR. Tanah Merah will be selling at 17 and 18. So what is considered a good price? Looking at the statistic, any price below $1,700, if we are able to enter, is considered a good buy. Key, make sure, like we learned from the earlier lesson, we must have holding power. And this whole summary slides here will give you an idea, okay, to not emotionally attach to it, but looking at the pure hearts number. Yeah. Okay, still got a little bit more time. Timing analysis. Okay, for first timer, just want to check. First timer, so much about the upgrader, right? How about the first timer? Do we have this question? Another round of cooling measures may be coming. Should I, as first timer, wait for this, time the market, and then enter? Yes or no? Okay, let me see. Will you wait for the new ABSD? Let's take a look at this. Okay, for first timer, I want you to ask this question. Okay, do you wish the government to introduce more new cooling measures? Something for you to ponder, yes or no, all right? I'll show you the answer immediately in the interest of time. If you see the ABSD 1, it resulted in 11.3% increase, ABSD 2, 2.2, and the ABSD 3, how many percent? 8.4% increase. It is the TDSR that caused the price to dip. Remember this, based on the facts and figures. Excuse me. So what is the effect of past ABSD? Take a look at the blue arrow. It didn't result the price to go down. Okay, it actually caused, it didn't cause, but the effect of ABSD didn't result in decreasing the price. Yeah, it merely slowed down the growth of the increase. I say again, slow down the growth of the increase. So can you imagine we've already got ABSD, already slowed down the growth of increase. Imagine if I were to remove it. If you were to remove it, you know what's going to happen? There's one time in 10 March, they remove it. I call it relax one. Not say remove, relax only. They relax from a 3-year SSD. Okay, from a 4-year to 3 years. It resulted a spike, an immediate spike. Because a lot of investors starts to come in. Demand go up. So the price actually increased by 14.6%. So can you imagine? For first timer, do you want relaxation? You don't want, definitely. Because any relaxation will cause the price to go up, more expensive for you to buy. But do you want more cooling measures? Do you need to wait for more cooling measures? It's something for you to decide. Because you already know the past effect of the ABSD1 result in increase of 11.3, result an increase of 2.2, result an increase of 8.4%. It merely slowed down the growth rate. The only thing that caused it to come down is the TDSR. Okay, and the relaxation is definitely a no-no for first timer. Yeah, because it will cause the price to spike. Last but not least, I think I'll very quickly go through it since so many of you are so enthusiastic. I want to make sure you get the maximum takeaway. Do we have this question? Is entering now, or we call it the COVID crisis period, really a good timing? Anyone say that it is now that I should enter COVID, or should I wait for the COVID to be over, then I enter? How many say, should I enter now or should I enter later? Wow, thank you so much for your participation. So many of you are still participating. Okay, thank you so much. I try not to move my cursor anymore now because I'm afraid, okay, whenever I move the cursor to take a look at your chat, that is where this will happen. Let me go into this again. Okay, great. Okay, let us be very frank. Okay, let us be very frank. If I were to rewind the time back when you are having had that SARS crisis and Lehman Brothers crisis, frankly speaking, would you enter the market? You ask yourself. If you didn't, you ask yourself why. If you yes, congratulations. Okay? Why congratulations? In the interest of time, let me go into it. You buy at SARS, you sell at the start of subprime, you earn 1 to 2%. You sell at SARS, you sell now. Who dare to enter during SARS time? Congratulations. You earn 122 to 199% return. Opportunity. You buy during SARS time, you sell at the fall of Lehman Brothers, you still earn 61%. What if you were to buy during the subprime crisis when everyone don't buy and you sell now? You earn 85%. Key is holding power, but key is how many of us will dare to enter during crisis time, like now. Do you believe crisis? Then, now if I can remark, of course, now with the big data you see right now, you will say that sure, I will enter, but because now you happen to see. But I want you to understand yourself and also me, while I'm churning out this data, I also try to understand myself. Would I have entered during the Lehman Brothers? I want to frankly tell you, I lose one opportunity. That time during Lehman Brothers, is where I want to enter Icon. And I didn't. I say I want to wait and I missed the boat. Okay, I learned the precious lesson. When I see this data, I can understand it. Bonus 15, coming to an end soon. Property price volatility analysis. Okay, this is something that has allowed me as a property investor to benefit. I want you to gain the insight on what you observe on the volatility. Remember, property investment comes with property risk. Why is that so? Because there's ups and downs. Ups and downs. If you sell at the down, you lose money. If you sell at the up, you earn money. So what this insight from the URA trend line will give you. Did you realize one thing? The next low is always higher than the previous low, because the low means it dipped. The low 3 is higher than low 2. Did you realize the next high is always higher than the previous high? Remember the land, the big picture, the land are being invested. So did you realize this insight? If you realize this insight, how can you maximize it? How can you maximize it? Is there another insight? There's another insight. Did you realize the increase? Say, for example, the peak 1 or high 1 is 81%, whereas the dip is only 10%. The high 2 is 48%, whereas the dip is 8%. Did you realize when it starts to go for a bull run, the bull is always greater than the bear? The bear will still bear. So if you have the holding power to make sure you don't sell at the bear, congratulations. Because why? The insight is such that the high is higher than the previous high. So like I like to quote Koh Boon Guan. Koh Boon Guan say, when the journalist asked Koh Boon Guan, when is the best time to buy? He says the best time to buy is now. If and only if you can afford. You have to do your homework properly. All right? And homework increases, including all the analyses that we mentioned earlier on. So that is the insight. Next peak is higher than the previous peak. The next dip is higher than the previous dip. And the peak has a higher increase compared to the dip. Last but not least is this question. How can I optimize my limited fund to create more property wealth prudently and simply? That is the property wealth creation analysis. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Can we do a simple plan? Yes. Let's take a look. A couple, breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, 10, 10, 10, $40 times 2 person times the next 20 years. Because from 65 years of age, average expectancy is 85. So we need 576K to retire. Yeah. So just remember this magic number 576K. Be it you're a first timer or be it you are existing upgrader. Take a look at the number one plan to buy condo now. 1.56 million, you hold 30 years. After 30 years, you become 65 years of age. You pay off the loan diligently. You sell at the 1.56 million, same price. And then you buy a lease remaining 40 years at 471K. You can easily retire with about 1/million. That is retirement plan number one. Simple plan. The 471K, 40 years remaining is good for us already because by then, I will be 105 years old already. Plan number two, buy HDB at 471K. Hold for 25 years, 25-year HDB loan, pay off the loan, sell at 855K because HDB also got appreciation, remember? Okay. And also, once I sell, I earn the profit, I buy back a 471K 40-year lease. I would have 384K. Is it enough for my retirement? Not enough because I need 576K. How about the third? I buy a second condo if I can afford. That means I still stay in my existing HDB. So I buy a second condo for 30 years. I diligently paid it off. Let's assume there's no capital appreciation. That's why it's called a simple plan. Sell at the same price, 1.56 million after 30 years. I take a loan, total interest 204K. I get a rental income. I factor in vacancy rate of 10%. I use the total rental income minus the total interest. I got 930K from the condo, remember? But remember, I still got my existing HDB. Using the same plan that I have in the orange color, I buy back a 40-year lease. I sell my existing HDB and buy at a 40-year lease. I got 384K. So at the plan number 3 is 930 plus 384K. And I stay in a 40-year lease remaining HDB. I would have 1.3 million, the highest retirement fund. That's why the rich get richer because this client happened to be able to afford the second property. Last but not least is to do nothing. Continue to stay in my HDB. Can I? I can. Okay. If I were to stay in the HDB, I will pay off my loan very comfortably. The question is, I don't have my retirement fund because all my money is being locked into in the HDB. All these are being backed up by using the trend analysis, as you can see from here, from the URA. Can you see the 1.56 million, the 471K HDB, based on the assumption of 1,000 square foot, 1,000 square foot size, yeah? So, is there really no risk in doing nothing? Let's take a look. If I were to do nothing like plan 4, the rates that I can have is 0.05% for 20 years. So this is the 20 years return for the private from the URA, which will yield 139%. As you can see from here, down payment of 1 million property, to make it simple, 250K down payment. If I were to invest in the property, it will become 597K. And the condo return of 139% will yield me 347,000. Whereas if I put the same money in a bank, okay, do nothing, what will happen? I would have become 252K. Yes, I earn a little bit of money. How much? I earn 2512. And if I factor in the inflation at a 0.51%, the inflation effect will make my 250K become 225K. Is there really no risk in doing nothing? Looking at the data, to do nothing, there would be a financial loss of 21K. After I had if I were to put the money in the bank, yes, I do earn 2,005, but I also lose 24,000. So the net effect is I lose 21K. And most importantly, I am older by 20 years old. It may affect my affordability because my loan tenure is greatly affected. And this results in negative impact in my wealth creation. And that in itself is a risk. It's something that my wife and myself are careful to remind ourselves too. So I hope this will be useful to you. And do nothing. or get started to invest in our property for our retirement. And property investment really need not be complicated.